Well, the Memphis Police Department has eyes in the sky before officers even get to the scene. MPD's new drone as a first responder program launched May 1st. This is video from a drone responding to a domestic disturbance call on May 30th. The drone was able to catch a visual of the suspect and his license plate. The department has 2 drones that can be deployed in less than 2 minutes. Police said the drones have been used in more than 180 flights and have provided some form of assistance in about 98% of deployments. They do plan to expand the program once more funding becomes available. But does it solve crime? Could it turn into over-policing? Will it violate citizens' privacy? Here's what 2 Memphians said about it this week.
It can be a slippery slope. I feel like a lot of these technologies they're using now to try to use it for criminals, I think at some point could be used just on people, on like a surveillance state type.
No, it ain't gonna bring the change that we need to see, but it might help with the crime a little bit.
And also the Department of Justice is offering money for other cities to create their own task forces and touting Memphis as an example. So here's a clip from Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's announcement of this initiative.
The DOJ will be surging $300 million in grant funds to support cities who are serious about reducing violent crime, restoring public order, and modernizing their public safety infrastructure.
So 2 to 4 cities with populations greater than 100,000 people will receive funds to support crime reduction efforts and modernize public safety infrastructure. A quick note here, too, that grant money can be used to hire more officers, buy equipment, offer training and professional development, provide mental health and substance abuse services, and work to prevent recidivism. Okay, so it's a 2-parter here. So, Scott, I'll have you open it up. The Memphis police drones, sure, maybe it does help in some way, but could it turn, is it ethical?
Well, cameras are ubiquitous in our society, and think of all the crimes that have been solved or answers that we've received from doorbell cams that are all across the street that private. The police have a program where you can sign up and, you know, hook your videos that your home takes to help solve crimes. I applaud it. I think, you know, drones, we should look at technology and use it to our best advantage. I remember early on when cell phones came on and no one wanted a cell tower, you know, but now everybody wants a cell tower because their calls keep dropping. So this technology is great, and as long as it's used the right way, and I think so far it has, and I think if it doesn't, you know, people will, you know, ACLU will take an issue with it if it's used wrong. But right now, I think it's a good idea.
How did you know I was writing ACLU? I think that's what the thing we have to talk about, the equal application of the law and how do we use these cameras. Because obviously if it's going to help solve crime and help us get to answers a lot quicker, we want to utilize all of the technology we have available to us. What we don't want to see is cameras or drones being used in areas or spaces because they've been targeted or that people in those spaces have been targeted in any way. And then we want to make sure that we don't get out-lawyered, so to speak. When the camera captures something, if the lawyer comes in and suppresses the evidence because someone has more money to fight the case, then we have a problem. So I think we just want to see equal application of law.
And I point out on cameras that the Tyree Nichols case would not have advanced like it has if it wasn't for that Skycam capturing the activities of those police officers.
Definitely. Otis, I want you to talk about the task force.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree with Scott on the drones. I don't have any problem with that as long as it's used ethically. As far as the task force here, this is an announcement of promising other cities stuff that Memphis wanted. They didn't ask for the National Guard. They asked for resources to help us continue to reduce crime the way crime was being reduced before the task force got here. But they said, no, we're bringing in the heavy hitters and we're going to do this. But now they're giving and offering money to other cities. I think it's kind of a slap in the face to the city, if you ask me. Even though crime is going down, has been going down, but we asked for resources. The city asked for resources, the state legislators asked for resources, but they said, no, we're going to infiltrate your city.
Is it fair to use Memphis as an example if the deal isn't the same?
No, it's not. To me, it's not. It's not. It's apples and oranges here because, again, what they did in Memphis, they didn't. They pumped a lot of human beings here, including the National Guard, but I don't see them providing what Todd Blanche said they were going to provide to these other cities for infrastructure.
Is example synonymous with the word or the phrase guinea pig? Because I think that's kind of what is taking place here. And so in a demonstration grant, it looks like, or in a demonstration project, the city that was used should have been offered resources immediately following to sustain the results. You remember the question of the task force has always been, how do we transition out of this and have a sustainable program? Now to come back and to offer to other cities and say, hey, here's a slice of the pie for you to start something and do something, I think we should have first come back to Memphis to say, hey, and for your cooperation in dealing with this, we'd like to give you these resources to sustain the advances that you have made so we don't find ourselves back in the same situation.
Scott, you have the last point if you want it.
Well, I think that it does show that the task force has had an effect on Memphis and that they're trying to duplicate it in other cities. Both of these gentlemen make good arguments about the method that was put in place, but I like to see the results, and I think the results are that we have a much safer community.
You danced around the question.
You sure did.
You danced.
I'm
a politician.
You danced around the question.
He's a politician.
All right, thank you all so much. That show went quick, which means you know it was a good one. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching ABC24 This Week. We hope you'll join us next week for ABC24 This Week.